Hello guys and welcome back to the final draft video that I'm going to do in this preseason. From next video onwards it will be game week 1 specifically. So now we are starting with the preparation for game week 1, as we are less than 7 days away from the FPL season beginning and the Premier League season beginning. We are going to see my final draft today, and I want to reveal once again what am I doing this year. I'm going to pick players only that are with nationalities that have won the World Cup: Uruguayan, Italian, German, Brazilian, English, Argentinian, French, Spanish. Yeah, 8 teams, 8 nationalities I am going to pick players from. That means no players like Haaland, Salah, Bruno, Virgil, Mbumo, and so on are off my list. So it's going to be tricky this year to pick a squad, but hopefully I will be able to build something interesting for you and to go with some differential picks here and there, because I cannot own the most popular guys, being Salah and Haaland and even Neco Williams, single sales, etc, etc, etc. I have to just go out and pick players that are born in one of those 8 nations or are currently actively representing that nation, because for example Antonio counted previously as an Englishman, now he's Jamaican, so Antonio, for example, is out of my list. But if you are currently being able to represent this country, you are right into my squad. Now let's go and see how my team is looking. We are of course going to start in defense, and I'm going to explain why I selected those players, and we're going to see and if you think we can improve something there. Before we start discussing each and every player, if you enjoy my content and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This idea, I think it's going to be very interesting for you to monitor and to watch, and I think that more and more people will try play different types of fantasy, because at the end of the day, playing the same game over and over and over and over again, it can get a little bit boring, and especially with so many tools that are out there suggesting the best squads, the best transfers, you putting a challenge on yourself, I think will be amazing. I'm left with 0.5 million in the bank. Sadly, some injuries have appeared, but not in defense. In goal, we start with Rob Sanchez. I think that Crystal Palace at home is not going to be an easy game, but at the end of the day, Chelsea have a very good start and run of fixtures at the beginning. Until game week 7, they play pretty much a lot of teams outside of the top 10 from last season, and teams that are not going to be in that much contention for the top spots this year. After it, we can of course sell Sanchez and move forward with another keeper, but for now the Spaniard will be making my list. My backup goalkeeper is Bentley from Wolves. He's not going to play. There is a 4.0 keeper playing this year, and that's Dubravka, but sadly I cannot buy him. He's not born in any of those 8 nations, so yeah, he will be avoided. Moving into my defensive department, I'm going with 5 rotatable defenders. So I'm going with Porro, Tarkovsky, Muriu, Konsa, and Lacroix. I'm going to explain each and every player from that team, as we're starting with the offensive fixture guy, and that is Pedro Porro. He's one of the few offensive wingbacks that I can buy this year, and him being in that position will do wonders for me. At least in my eyes, he's on set pieces now that Maddison is injured. One side of the corner kicks, he's taking them, he's crossing some free kicks, he's getting into some good advanced positions, especially when Ben Davies is onto the field. I don't know if it's going to be Jet Spence or Ben Davies on the left flank, because Udogi is injured for now. And for the start, I think that Porro will be a good asset to have and a good asset to own, and historically when I owned him he didn't disappoint me, so I'm going to once again go to him. Next up, I decided to pick a player good for clean sheets, and that defender is Konsa. They haven't strengthened a lot in their team. They lost some of their attackers, but their defense have remained the same, and players like Konsa will be very good for the fantasy, because you can put him in some of the easier fixtures. Of course, in the start he does not have that easy of a fixture on, but as time goes on, the fixtures are becoming easier and easier, and for the first 7 weeks I think that Aston Villa are with one of the best fixture on, so I'm going to go with him. Next up, we have 3 defenders that are very solid for defensive contributions. They're expensive. Tarkovsky, Muriu, and Lacroix combined to a price of 16 million, which for 3 rotating defenders is a lot, as you can get them for 13.5 basically. But I don't want to go cheap, and I cannot go cheap. If I would have went with Neco Williams, Chris Richards, and probably Tarkowski would still have been here, but those nations are out of my reach. Starting with Tarkowski and Murillo, I think we are getting a good start. Then Lacrosse fixture run is getting better and better and better and better as the time goes by. And until game week 6, I think that my team is in a pretty solid position defensive-wise, and I don't need to do anything. Even if there is an injury, I can rely on a DEFCON defender to get me 3 to 4 points in that game, even without a clean sheet. But players from the teams that I've selected, like Lacroix, Tarkowski, and Murillo, are all with the availability to get me clean sheets also. So I'm betting on clean sheets and DEFCON returns with those 3 defenders. Tarkowski has been recovering from an injury, but he has started playing once again, and they have some little and limited options that I think that Tarkowski is right back into the squad. And now with those DEFCONs, I think he is going to grind those points for my team. Of course, I'm missing the best defender in the game this year, being Van Dijk, but he's Dutch, and sadly the Netherlands have not won the World Cup. If they've won it, my job would have been way easier, because Gakpo, Malen, Frimpong, and Van Dijk would have unlocked so many options for my team, especially VVD and Gakpo for the start of the season. But for now, I think I'm going to remain with that defense. The only defender that I'm interested in is Gabriel, and he haven't played yet more than 30 minutes in preseason, so probably not going to start with him in my team. I don't want to risk it. These defenders have been playing alright, and Tarkowski, I know it's a risk, but he's just right back into the squad. Now let's go and see how my midfield and forward line look, because there is a change of formation and there is a change in personnel due to some injuries. Now the formation has changed. I'm going for a 3-4-3 instead of a 3-5-2, and my cheap option is going to be in midfield. I've changed 4 players here. 3 of them are because of injuries. So first of all, there is Solanke, that hasn't featured yet for Spurs since his injury. Then there is Rogers, who left with the ankle injury, that he's off for now. And then there is Rodri, who has not traveled to the squad against Palermo when City are facing them. So those 3 players needed to leave, and Ashley Barnes has left because I need to switch around the personnel. And I brought in some interesting options. I've replaced my Rodri defensive contributions with Anderson's defensive contribution. I don't think I'm surprising anyone there. He's a pretty popular pick, and a pretty popular pick against content creators, and I think that it's completely deserved. Until probably game week 6, he is going to remain into my squad with certainty. After it, he might leave, he might stay. It's yet to be decided, but for now, I think that Anderson will be remaining into my squad. Facing Brentford at home, I think that's a good fixture for him to get some attacking returns, and of course some DEFCON returns for my team. Hopefully he will play, and hopefully he will get me points. But even if he doesn't, once again, I have such a good bench that I can cover everyone. Up front, Solanke has been replaced with Bowen. I think that Sunderland away replaces okayish Burley at home, and Bowen is going to be a placeholder for the start. He tends to do well. He was in a good form, and he's playing centrally at the moment together with Fulkrug. Yes, Fulkrug is another option for me, but I just prefer Bowen. Going forward, I think that he is amazing, and West Ham in general are going to be better, at least in my eyes, even though they lost Kudus. And finally, the last guy to join the team is Ekitike. I know that it's going to be risky, but they've sold Luis Diaz, they haven't bought Isaac yet, and for me, facing Bournemouth, I written Boch, but yeah, I mean Bournemouth at home, sorry. Just like Wirtz, I know that I have 2 new players into the squad, and that goes against my understanding, but I don't like the other forward options. I cannot afford to get Bruno Fernandes, because if it wasn't for Ekitike, it was going to be Bruno, but Bruno is Portuguese and I cannot select him. So yeah, Ekitike facing Bournemouth at home together with Wirtz hopefully will cover my Salah mission. Probably it will not, but at the end of the day, I think that Ekitike is a player that I'm okay to have at the moment, and at 8.5, I think that's a good price range. I can easily go down to everyone else. I cannot get any more expensive forwards. Evan Nilsson is on my list, Fulkrug is on my list, Barry is on my list, Welbeck, Swanke if he returns Matetais here, so Ekitike can be easily moved around to cover it. And King from Fulham, I think is going to be a good 4.5 enabler to have. Rest of the squad I already mentioned. Florian Wirtz, he was going to be my Salah replacement, but now with Ekitike I think that we can get some more stability and have more attacking options. Salah and Gakpo would have been in my squad if I was going with a regular draft, but now Wirtz and Ekitike will have to cover them. Watkins, I don't know if Rodgers is playing, but I know for certainty that Watkins is starting. So yeah, I'm selecting Watkins to start the season with. And my two premiums are Saka and Palmer. Both I feel like are going to be more rotated this year as they've added depth into their squads. But for now, I feel like they are starting the season. Saka is not with an amazing fixture to start the season with, but then it's Leeds at home, so I cannot afford not owning an Arsenal asset in that run. And Palmer, I think that has been brilliant in the Club World Cup and will transfer his form now into the Premier League against Crystal Palace in particular. I think that's a good squad. 0.5 to improve somewhere if I need to. Probably will not touch that money, and with time I'm going to do transfers, of course. I'm still missing a City player, I'm still missing a Newcastle player that I would like to get at some point during the season, especially at some good times. United player is not here now that Sesko has joined. Bruno is going to start playing a holding DM in my eyes with Cunha on the left and Mbeumo on the right with Sesko up front. So I think a lot of things may happen and may vary. But what I found intriguing is that even with some restrictions, I managed to get pretty damn good players. The only two risky guys in my eyes are Ekitike and Wirtz, and why I shouldn't take that risk? They're new guys for Liverpool. They spent so much money on them and they don't have proper replacements at the moment. Gravenberch is suspended for the first week, so I believe it's going to be McAllister, Szoboszlai and Wirtz. Then you have Ekitike, Gakpo and Salah up front, and I think it's a good start of the season for Liverpool. We're going to see how they're going to face against Crystal Palace, and probably the lineup will be something similar. I think that draft is good. I want to hear your opinion. Just don't forget to mention it, because yeah, that's my draft, and from next week onward we are going to start adding more and more videos to the frame. I'm going to showcase to you how my structure is going to look like. We start with a Sunday video, then Monday and Tuesday we go for player suggestions, then we go for the team selection, then we go for some probably captaincy options or some cheeky stuff for the week up ahead, and then in the last day we go for a stream together with some final tips. So I think it's going to be a very good week for me. Deadline stream will be happening for sure, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Hopefully enjoy the content. If you don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment. I'm fighting for 3.9k before the start of the season. Let's see if we can reach it. There is only 1 week left, and hopefully together with you guys we can achieve it and we can make it possible. Once again, thanks so much for supporting me, and thanks so much for the good things happening during preseason. I'm very excited to start working on the upcoming season with game week 1 content that will be coming to you from tomorrow onwards. Once again, thanks so much for watching, but for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.